Hi, welcome to the car. GarageBand is great. It's a full-featured DAW that looks good, sounds good, it's easy to use, and it comes free on any Mac and any iOS device. And it's perfect to use in an educational setting, but most people are teaching it wrong. The first lesson that a lot of people do with GarageBand is using loops. I think that loops should never be used in the educational setting, especially first. Loops show students that creating music and making music sound good is easy. Once they have that in their head, then it's really difficult to get them to do anything else. So I don't teach loops at all anymore. I used to. That was my first lesson. Okay, let's get going with loops. I can create a song that sounds great, and then I go into song form. It's like, all right, let's write a rondo song form. Let's write a pop song form, verse and chorus, blah blah blah. That's backwards. All right, this is how I teach music technology now, and it is so much better. It has made me a better teacher. I'm so much happier with what my students produce. I start with finger drums. I start with having students play drum beats on the desktop, on a piano, on an MPC style pad. They're playing hi-hat, bass drum, and snare, and they learn how beats are created. That's where I start. And then we go to GarageBand. Unit 1 is drum beats. How are drum beats constructed? How can you record them into the computer? How do you quantize? And then we start learning about drum fills. How do you connect beats together? How long are beats? We talk about phrase lengths. Second unit, bass line. When does the bass play? What is the relationship between the bass note and the kick drum? We talk about chord progressions, building chord progressions in the key of C. I only use the key of C in the beginning. And then, okay, so you can build a chord progression. What does the bass note play? And then I give some simple rules for bass line on how you can alter instead of just playing the root. Third unit, chords. Take that chord progression. How can you spell 3-note chords? First we play everything in root position, then we invert. Unit 4, melody. So how can you take a one-note piece of your chord and then make it into a melody? What are the rules for melodic rhythm? So we talk about syncopation and repetition and using AABA or ABAA or any of those phrase relationships, and then apply them, and then adding space in your melody. How do you create a melody using only chord tones? How do you create a melody using more than one chord tone on each chord? How do you use non-chord tones with your melodies? And the last unit that I do when we're writing songs using GarageBand is song form. Then they know how to create something that they hear in their head. They know what drum beat. They can hear a drum beat in their head. They can make it. They can hear a bass line in their head. They can make it. They can hear chords in their head. They can make it. They have a melody in their head. They can write it out. And now they can accurately create a song and apply song form. It's no longer an exercise in just getting something done. They are being creative and they are actually making music. So, flip it around. Try it. Try it next time. Don't teach song form until the end. Don't use loops. I wish there was a way to get rid of loops in GarageBand. It's cool that it's there. It's great to mess around with, but stay away from it.